Then once you step out of matter, you go into, or the physical plane, you go into what's referred to as the plane of force. The plane of force stimulates the physical. That means the tree, the bulk wood, life bliss, is 1 degree of the physical plane. The life force with the water and the sun and the minute particles of living energy that makes it grow, blossom, and extend, that energy in there is called the plane of force. You follow that? When you move to above the plane of force, where do you go? Why do you call it the spiritual? Because you're moving now into an etheric state, an exoplasma. You're moving into energies that do exist, but until recently, science could not explain. Because as far as they got was to the hydrogen atom, and they had to wait for it. And then, as they got more advanced and more technology and computers, now they found out the atom is composed of smaller particles. The problem comes in, I've explained this a lot of times, but you got to bear with me. The problem comes in the word sum. S-O-M-E versus S-U-M. Phonetically, they sound the same. Some because they are the same. Something is the sum of a thing. Its weight, its mass. Something. You with me? Okay? So now, when you say a hydrogen atom, you're defining, before recently, the lightest sum or thing in existence was hydrogen. When they split the atom, now they had two things, which became a biap. You follow that? A biap, which simply means two apertures. Because they don't know what to do or what to say, because they've already announced for the last 400 years that the lightest thing in existence is a hydrogen atom. So now how they re-educate all the kids and say, we made a mistake. You follow? They lose the confidence and trust of the kids. They don't do that. They just build it. They lie. They say, well, we split the atom, and now we found the quark. But when they speak of a quark, they're really speaking of a quad, which is a 4. So they had to have split 2 atoms to get to a quark. So they had to get to a biaperture before they got to the quark, and before they got to the Z-ads, which is nothing but an Arabic word, Z-ad, meaning to add on. That is Arabic word meaning plus, and Hebrew. You hear me? So they got past the first sum, the lightest atom, see? And now they have a second degree of energy and matter, which they don't have an atomic weight for. So they then admitted that there does exist a form of living intelligence and force that has no sum on this side of things. So they verify the spiritual world. They just don't want to say spiritual. Because the next thing will be, can I contact it? Can I communicate with it? Can it help me? And the answer is yes. And we've been doing that for years, contacting the spiritual world, until Christianity told us to stop doing it and only go, I am the way, the truth, and the light. No one gets to the Father but by Jesus. Don't go to your mother. Don't go to your father. Don't listen to your grandmother's remedies for your colds. Go by Tylenol. Go their way to a white Jesus only and cut off our connection to the spiritual world. Above the spiritual world, because the spiritual world, so you have the physical plane, it subdivides into different types of matter. The plane of force, which is the energy that's inside all living things. And then you go into the spiritual plane when they got beneath the atom and got to a higher level of energy. And then you go into the mental plane. That this thing invaded man who's so intelligent, it must have thought. It had a mind. And the word mind is the individual portion that feeds off the mental. And the mental is the reservoir of intellect of which all things receive. So it moves to the thought patterns of the soul or the spirit. You follow that? We get past the mental plane with the 4th level or the 4 elements that manifest the physical. Now we go to the next level. The plane of what? Truth. Truth. They say divine truth. It's the plane of truth. But truth is not always reality. You follow that? Just like the truth was when it was taught that hydrogen was the lightest atom. The next level was reality, that it's not. But it was accepted and believed during the period that they were not intelligent enough to find out that it wasn't the truth. So you have the plane of truth. Plane of truth is what you're calling me. I exist. What I am. Who I am. My personality. What I've shaped myself to be. What I want people to think I am. What I really know I am. What I don't like about myself. That's the truth. But then there's a reality. What are you really? You follow? And that manifests the answer only to you and nobody else. So you can tell me the truth about yourself, but the reality about you only you admit to, because you can't lie to yourself. Then you move from the divine truth into divine reality. And when you're at divine reality, you are at the threshold or the bosom of godliness, where no lies come in, because everything is a reality. And as you step from the bosom of God, as they would say, and look back through the 7 planes, before I go to the next 4, and look back to the 7 planes, what do you see? You're looking through the face of God. You're looking from the mass of God. You see less than myself. All right? So therefore, the next step would be higher than myself. Another reality, because God was a total reality as the hydrogen was until it was split. Now, God was a unitary, a reality, until reality says God had to have an origin. God had to have a point in existence. God had to, when you got to the point where you was able to question that, what did you do? You wear the mask of God. You approach the mask, because God is a mask. Allah, Theos, Jehovah, he's a mask. And you're working your way towards this mask. And when you get there, you put the mask of God on and you look back at creation. And you say, growth. Growth. That's the truth. But beyond that truth, there's something else that God sees. God sees the only real reality. Change. That growth is change. Only real consistency is change. That's reality. And that's when you put on the mask of God and you look back at creation, and creation becomes growth. No longer birth is growth. No longer creation is growth. And then you realize growth is growing toward you, through you, and past you. It's constantly changing. You're born, you grow, numbers age, and you die. Your flesh becomes a part of the soil for more trees, and it continues to go on. It starts to sum up to a second degree of reality. You go 4 steps. You step from God at 7 to the 8th point, the reality that change. Why 8? Because 8 is that number that keeps multiplying by itself. 2, 4, 6, 8. It keeps on multiplying. But above 8 is the perfect cycle. At 9, the perfect cycle. That's when all realities meet. Watch. 9 plus 9, which is 9. Plus 9, 27, which is 9. Plus 9, 9 times 9, 81, which is 9. You see, it moves in that vicious circle. Once you get to 9, which is now your 7, 8, 9, reality is gone, the court is gone, the soul is gone, the higher purpose manifests itself as naught. You know what that means? Non-existence. Because 10 does not exist. 10 takes you back to 1.